Coming in the convergent line center high position of track lines in line interference, when you get activated from all set locations, it doesn't mean you're in setting, which means you're coming into adaptation. So it's all about understanding the waiting signals, the waiting panels, standby, setting track locations, rendezvous, ego has landed, high calculations, tango foxtrot. It's all the replications in high setting, right? Really understand your whiskeys and line communication setting, uniform line interference, your golf, back into set location alpha bravo. Now, in that track to its communication lines, everything has changed. Everything is now changed. Now, what does that mean by change? Well, things that never existed in the first place. To get rid of that line interference is balancing out your earth perceptions of your consciousness. Consciousness is everything in set position of points of view. Line calculates the setting. 3 waves and volunteer is now set up. All levels of a 24 o'clock location. Now the convergence lines sets position of track lines. It's 3 separations, but they're together as one. Waiting on signal to understand why I'm on all levels of wave 1. What does that mean? It means that you have to understand how to get into your inner child, how it creates a structure of its drawing into schematics, line calculations of pi, and understand the inner child is creating a drawing to come home. That's all it is. Nothing else, nothing more. But it's a factor communication setting where they have to go through the karma cycles. This gives them a better track locations of where they are through the divisions. And there's a reason why they stay on wave 1, wave 2, or wave 3. Okay? Wave 1 is getting them into their 24. Now, because their earth perception has now changed the mind of its consciousness, but they're not aware of that through the mind setting yet. And that's where they have to go all over again in their karma cycles, resetting the factory reset in a psychological connectionized system of psychosis and set position attraction. Okay, wave 2 is getting in position on waiting, standby, teleporting. 2, 3. 3 line setting puts position to its location system in settings, which basically puts everything all together in its formation of its mind of consciousness. There's 3 line waves of consciousness, okay? They connect to all levels when it comes to the subconscious, into the subterranean, into the super of its consciousness. You're not working with the unconscious anymore, okay? That's sleep line communication deviation. In that track location line interference, that's deviation line interference and disassociation location separation. That no longer exists. You guys were living on line signals into 12 o'clock line setting. You can't do anything in convergent location and system location track lines. You guys were in provision location line settings of 5% locations on each side calculation stream locations. But you guys were living the past that was changing the present of the future. You were in the future of the now, but in the past. That's what you guys were in provision of. But you were in a 24 line settings off calculations, 20 convergent line in rotations into 4 channels. In that direct signal puts you in position back in traction of 24 line cycles, in position location of convergence, in position of the future of the now. Okay? You never were in that position locations in that first place. Your position as a track line has always been 24 convergent locations of the heart center locations, which means your heart was only in a half line rotation. Now it's in a full cycle. See the difference? Rotation setting cycles and high center interference. 4 generational line interference in 4 waves, 5 within system, 6 within line setting, and 7 in rotation. 7 new bodies of water in track location, 5 atmospheres of space and time. 24 equals 12. Okay, that's convergence of your foundation graph line. Each line, each rotation, each surface, each accelerator sets position to particles, putting you guys into your line communication, into your mortal genes, and a line calculation setting to your God particles in a specific space of time division. Each one wakes up divine timing through its clocking. So there's a process where you have to go through this all over again and get out of the 12 line setting and into the 24 convergence of the earth to your specifications of traction. Calculation modifies all lines and the line calculation setting to division location of tractions. Okay? All right, tractors communication line cycles. Put in provision line centers. Now that provision locations opens up portals. Now redirect panels and communication to a system. All levels its line side locations. All right. So get position location 1, 2, and 3 set location. Okay. Tractors correlation setting. Let's tractor setting interference. Now the mechanism line interpretations sets track location of this setting into correlations of this setting position traction into this position location of system. Okay. Correlations of center, correlations of center, correlations of center, and balanced position of traction. Okay. Positions of 1, positions of 2, and positions of 3. Okay. That's the convergent line setting location of system. Tractors correlations, 1 line's its indication, all levels, everything's on a 24 cycle. Okay. Everything's on a 24 cycle. Okay. 1 equals lines of measure. 2 equal lines of 1, and 3 equals lines of 1. So that's 13 line channels, 1,300 communications in salt planes, direct locations in 24 clocking center, center position operation. Okay. 2 line signature lines at 2200, 2,200 communications, planetary line interference, and position location of Pluto. Set lines of high lines and 1 metric meter interference, 24 equals line calculations in a box and triangulation. Okay. That's the directions. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Modifications, why there are not line calculations in position of 1, 2, and 3 planes. Direct location of line interference, earth planes, astral planes, soul planes. Okay? There's a reason why the line center location high system. Now, each one has a holographic line setting. Each earth has a position location system, has a metric stream and a spectrum light communication line of a holographic line communications. The 24 signals in the earth line rotations of one wave sets communications understand how to go through the Merkaba in the line calculation setting to the male and the female aspect location system. Tractor's location of consciousness, 3 levels of consciousness. Okay? Megapass. All right. Position of track line is really understand a portal communication in your systems. Okay? Now we have to understand the stargates, how it comes in online calculation in provision. Okay. Center line communication of Fibonacci. Center line communication line swirls. Communications in 1 center. Okay. Position of 3 track location. All right. Line strip, film strip, line, cross line, set location, line center interference, and track locations. Direct line panels, position location of 2 lines and platforms. Okay. Calculation of center line communication, triangulation of 3 sets. So that's 3 underscore. Now there's 1 line calculations over line, 3 line rotations, and 3 lines of weighting, high calculation setting, 24 signal line, position location, operation location, 144, track location setting. Okay, all set position of provision. Now, in that provision line cycles, the panel of position locations opens its dimensional lines and set locations. 1, right? Signal calculation line interference, travel position levels of travel communications and directions. Signifies line position location of 3 door sets and set position. 3, 3, 3. Set a correlation line centers, panel communication line interference of heart, mind, and soul. Track to location. Okay, that's my question. All right, so that's set up. Ooh, that solar flare did poof, popped. So track location your settings, how this is all set up now, how you guys are coordinating, how you guys come into your wave lines of 1, 2, and 3. Okay, portals are all open up in position track lines. Each line is an indicated position location of 24 cycles. Okay, it's set position. Ground lines to recognize why they're on the plateau and why they have to go back through the karma cycles so they can understand the inner child to set position of travel lines to set them free, and the mind lines to higher levels of consciousness where they teleport to position, location, in center line calculation, sending a Christ of conscious communication line interference of teleportation line and rotation position of track lines into tango line calculation of foxtrot communication line interference of 1300 position of track lines in throw line communications into 4-line generation streamlines and 7 bodies of water and track loose communication setting into 144 stargates of set location of heaven. Mega pass. Okay. All right. So that's going to travel up. I said on position of travel communication setting directions. Now, in that line calculation high interference, sets location this. This is for captain to understand sending travel locations all levels. This is an electrical bolt. Okay. Wave side lines center location of clouds, line direction of time sequence, puts position of patterns, lines, calculation high interference. Now, this positions its track location in the system. Okay. Understanding how to basically go from one cloud to the next. Okay, sky hopping, sky jumping, sky stream interference, vortex stream location, setting direct signal location of panels, direct location setting interference, and position location of bolts. Bolts communication. It goes line calculation. Okay, electrical bolt. All right, anybody felt that spark, right? Which is called a surge. Set location of travel lines. Okay. Done by equation. All right. So in that line calculation, there you go, Captain. Happy birthday. Okay. Setting position track lines. Toward location Y comes volcanic. Voltronic. Right? So it's a volmetric mean line rotation position of track communication line interference, how it makes it rain. All right. Setting track lines of box line rotation surface. 2 lines of panels. High calculation of 3 lines. 4-line position locations into 5 set location. Now, understanding how to use the metric streamline conditions of 2 atom line settings and high track location of 3-line rotation surface. Triangulation high center line interference is 144 line rotations and track to its communication of new grounds. Rest on time sequence correlates high center interference, travel position location, high center interference, and travel position. Okay, done by equation. All right, so setting line communication of colossals, line calculation, intelligence, and high position location, high volume, high setting, the intelligence location. See it? Done by equation. All right, so mechanism, high position location, travel lines. In direction, coming in is line calculation of intelligence. Boom, right there. Remember, we got the net correlation direct signal. Very powerful. You set position and travel calculation settings. All right. Indirect locations, we change the center lines to ops. Set positional point system, right there, right? Point system line calculation setting. Know exactly where to direct the panel communication lines and high interferences cerebral cortex lines of 3 track locations. Done by equation, all right? Center track line communications. 1 line equals line calculations of wave. Okay, wave line center. Okay, boom. 2 position line track lines right there, right? So inline rotations, that's wave 2. Set track location, not high interference. Interline position, interline communication, intelligence, set location of avatar, high location of sim, set locations of wave 3. Okay, set position of traction, done by equation. All right. Waiting on signal, panel line rotation center, all track to its correlation high direct system. Remember the frame communication is line of rotation? Boom, expansion in space academies. Outline, calculation, high interference. Northwest, south, and east, line position traction. Okay. Direct line panels, coloration of patterns, routers and line rotation settings, and position of sectors, vectors, and quads, and line position of traction. Okay. Coloration line settings, indirect signals. Now, with position of track lines, we colorate the line string in its position. Okay. Opens all communications and line centers. Now we go into the unification lines. Center communication lines of purple and line rotation to infinity line setting. Done by equation. Heather's going to like that. Keep it on 1 line center communication of Metatron. Setting direct save location of 4-line channels. Now this directs panels. The panel communication, yes, Alpha Bravo Tango Foxtrot, yeah. Whiskey Foxtrot Tango, yeah. Set position track lines, high center interference, and position location program settings. Calculate modified line rotations. Put you guys in track to its communication of open portals. This channel lines is set location of stargates. Set location line center interference. You calculate highest position of travel settings, right? Change position location coloration, back in the black line rotation center. Travel lines, overline, rotate center line interference, but positional location highest center line position travels, right? Above line rotation. Equal calculation high interference, equal calculation mark above lines, up and across line centers, what's below and what's above and high position location travel. Now we go to line cross line setting, direct signal position operation surface. Now in that direct line calculation type, position location comes in this location. Position line calculation setting, direct high position location on lulls, vector cross stream, line rotation, center position attractions. Calculate their line settings, rotate the routers and line interference. Tractors communication, 2 panels, line rotation, 1 signal, 1 platform, and line rotation of 2 line settings and 3 line communication. Okay. Pattern line position location of 2 tracks and line positions on 1 platform and communication. Right? Very powerful stuff. Direct line communication lines sets communication line cycles, high generation lines of platform communication of settings, 3-track line interference, 3-dimensional doors, and line conditioner cerebrals and line calculation setting into 344 in position. Done by equation. It's all set up. 3-dimensional door line center location of 344. 344 track location line center equal and has 144 line rotations. Track through correlations of 24 equals the lines of 30 line interference, 1 million track location setting, track location line interference in 1 second, 1 minute, and line location of hour, and 60,000 line streams set position. 20 seconds line setting. Done by equation, right? Okay, countermeasure is all position locations. So you have 20 seconds now to retrack. 20 equals line set location in a box, or line calculation to triangulation, inline position location to high setting. Okay, so that's 20 seconds now in refract calculation. Defrag calculates lines. So you have negative line interference. You have 20 seconds to retract location. Okay, set a position of space line, 2 vector cross streams, 2 equals line set calculation line interference, 3 line of waving cycle. Direct high calculation high position location of 4 lines, set location of 5. 5 lines, volts, calculation high strings, direct communication line settings, your CPU, direct calculation line interference into 24. 24 equals lines of 4 line rotation centered solar location system. Done by equation. All right, so that's going to center out line rotation. 1 signal panel and line set location high center, right? Hey, Renee, how you doing? Renee, the rotation line position of track lines, putting you into outside line conditions looking in, okay? Because your frequency patterns are not in high frequency. 1 signature lines, 2 box lines, center line interference, and travel communication of 3 settings. Direct communications, all levels, opens all signals and panel communication, right? Line calculation, line setting, and position location of the sun and the moon and attraction. Now, in line calculation setting and line interference, we come into alpha line rotation into your pyramid lines and 4 track locations. Now, direct line communications in a waving line centers in position location of 4 lines of 5 in track location. Directing communication crossing streams into 24 signature stream lines, a high calculation high interference into position location operation line calculation setting. Okay, done by equation. Okay, 0 line streams, 0 gravity line rotations, 0 lines, equal lines of ozone, ozone line communication line interference, and hemisync, correlates high center 24, 24 equals lines of 4, 4 generation lines of 5, 5 equals location of 7, 7 locations of 12, 12 line center interference, 3 weights on signal location. So taking the 3 crosses line stream, redirect panels, calculation line settings, put the past in position location of present and future line calculation. Direct channels, line and rotation setting, track locations, Mother Earth, line cycle, line setting, high calculation setting, interference into particle line rotation. Done by equation. Center communication out through equation. Boom, past is gone. Center lines communication, future, now. All right. Space, time. Okay. Center line communication, yin and yang. Done. Right? All right. Set position location line interference to travel. Triangulation reset programs. Set position location line setting. Mechanism line center location at 3 lines calculation. All right. So open sequence comes in line signal. Set location line centers of pi position of traction. Okay. Calculation splits the lines anomaly. Setting the lines of waiting line signal with 1300 line rotations, 1400 line communications, into 15 channel position operation. Okay, weighting calculation line interference. So 13 equals line calculation setting. That's negative or positive, 2 positive lines, 3 positive lines, 3 positive, 4 line side application, 5 line communication to 5 generation string locations. Down by equation. All right, so that's a through signal. Everything modifies the signal locations of travel. Travel recognizes communication of program line settings. It's all positions, location, system, and future adaptation. Future line communications, all levels of past, and position location of presence. Okay. Future communication lines, redirection of panels, reset line calculation setting, box line rotation surface, and triangulation. Reset locations, all levels. Take the past line into future communications. Down by equation. All right. So it's all about understanding how to read line calculation high interference. We've got 3 line wires, indirect signal. Okay. Travel correlation setting, direct creation of 3 line positions, operation surface. Position lines of 0, line communication of 0, and 4 track locations. All right. Directing position line panels and line calculation setting the 2 lines of measure and position of traction. Graph line settings, high position of box lines, application of travel settings, verification on levels. Modification line settings, 0 line rotation, 0 calculation, 0 line signal, high calculation modification, line interference, GPS lock signal, and position of travel calculations. Down by equation. All right. If you look really, really close, you can see line position location of 6 and 9. See the 6? See the 9? Boom. Graph line center setup position location, 24 line settings. Okay, waving cycles is really, yeah, exactly, Captain. Done by equation. So set position equation lines, sets track locations line high interference. Now we take the E equals lines at MC. MC waits on signal location of COMP2 system. Communicates line centers equal line calculation setting to pi direction of time sequence. Puts position lines of panels, operation surface, location setting, direct system, flux capacitor position of 24, set location of space and time, send line in the future, calculation high interference into now line rotation center. Down by equation. All right, so that signals out. Positions of panels. Now redirect line communication is ready to stand line strips. Line position location of 2 line settings, equal line calculation position of travel. So position of dimensional sail in line cross line setting, high calculation and position location of solar sail and direct location. Now line communication comes in the line setting. You come into the sun position its track communication setting contractions, right? Calculation of the moon. Moon sets line calculation setting and split line rotation. Splits location line centers. Look really close, affinity 8. Affinity 8 rotates the center. Line rotation sets position of track communication all levels of flywheel. Flywheel cuts high center interference at sun line rotation sets position of track communication. Right? Position all levels. Operation server location of center position. Down by equation. Out through equation. All right. Everybody understand position of travel lines and how this all works through provision location of cycles, how it regenerates your string location of your systems, how you change things line interference to the future of it now, because that's what we're dealing with right now. Future correlation to high location and future adaptation interference of your quantum interference location changes. All levels of the quasar line calculation setting, streamline interference, position location routers and routers, calculation of high interference location of your sun, illumination graph line set location system. Understand how to use your sun through lights. So you can see the illumination graph lines into 24 line graph line interference, electrical line, high position of travel communication lines at conscious communication string location of signal graph consciousness. Setting position of track lines to your moon operation line server location tag setting when it comes into levels of correlation setting to balance communication line interference of future now communication of 1 signal location of motion. 2 position of tracks, 4 line signatures, 6 position of settings, 8 position line connections, and 10 in rotation. Okay, and 2 track locations. Figure out line center interference, routers and routers. Set location of 1, 2, and 3 line connections. Opens all signals, opens all panels. Rest of time sequence. 4 signature lines of 3 lines. Booking through signal. Waiting line rotation, space recognition. Waiting on position location traction. There you go. Setting position location, 1 signature pattern. Now that pattern lines is rotating the surface. Router and line center location of the moon sets position of track lines of communication. Okay. Everything that comes in line center locations. Okay, I'm bringing in future. So it's direct and redirect line center locations. Sun comes in line calculation setting. Fibonacci line swirl sets position of track lines of center position operation. Sets position location 2 patterns and position location 2-dimensional door line signals and high calculation string locations. Okay. High calculation lines. Here's the entire line setting. Set location, travel position. right? Scan line setting high interference at two-dimensional long string locations. Done by equation, all right? Correction of time sequence, pad two line interference, integrate location decision, high levels. Brain convergence. How level the calculation, high interference, complicate line interference, location of 4 with 3 lines, location of 7. 7 is location of the levels, 7 track location, 7 line division, and 7 line communication grounds, substance travel. Done. Okay, mechanism line calculation, high interference, 0 line position of travel lines, 0 line communication of 1, 1, 1, 1. Open border communication, line directions of 4 panel communication, setting traction. Travel line center location of sun and the moon, and line rotation center and position location projection. Okay. So signal phi calculations, XT1000 cross, XT1000 cross, XT1000 cross center locations. Traffic communication line settings, how about the locational levels? Put position location here, put position location here, and put position location in the center line communications. Done by equation. Center coordination setting 1, in position of 2, in position of 3 wave communication. Direct calculation line interference, earth line communication, earth line 2 line interference, and earth line 3 communications, ground line, center line interference, position travel communications. Done by equation. All right. Mechanism line settings. It's all about understanding how to use your communication to your systems. It's all through alpha, line connection delta, and theta line interference, 1 omega, 1 equals 1 omega line position triangulation. Okay. Triangulation resets, theta line communication triangulation. Delta communication line center location triangulation. Alpha comes into beta position of travel. Okay. Beta lines high center interference into delta communication of 2 wave line cycles. Position location of 2 panels, sets position and track lines of sun and moon in line communication setting and line rotation. Direct communication line setting and triangulation reset position program location setting and position location of intelligence. There it is. Boom. Intelligence. Bang. Future adaptation line signals. Now we take the 1 line panel. Line connect high lines, a magnetic high wave formation line. 1 equals lines of omega, lines of triangulation, reset, position of program location, all levels of high calculation, no more separation. Boom. Equals lines of future of the now. Boom. Done. Center track lines, 0 line rotation surface. Triangulation, reset, program, position of travel calculations. Direct communication of center lines and correlation high interference, high position location lines, a cloud line and rotation center and track to communication setting. Direct line calculations of panels, high position location line center. Self-generation line and rotation modification line, stream interference, travel communication setting, position location programs, high calculation, high position location operation. Done by equation. Boom. It's all set up. Waiting on position of travel lines. Redirect panels back and frame position locations into Stargate settings. Track location setting, 1 line signature, 2 line centers, and 3 track locations. Position line centers, 3 line signatures, right? Calculation, triangulation, reset position of diamond core. Sets correlation setting and center line rotation. Directed communication lines of 3 panels, line rotation, center position operation. Calculation modification of 2 patterns, line calculation setting, platforms communication, platform communication, platform communication, platform communication, platform communications. Done by equation. Boom. Now, line setting, positions of platforms, we're adding dimensional door lines, so cerebral cortex of streams. 1 position of track, 2 positions of 3, 4 lines of setting, height, so location of 6, 6 lines of 8, 8 lines of 9, 9 lines of 10, 10 lines of 11, and 11 lines of location of 12 location. Done by equation. So all dimensional lines of high interference, location line interference is now in the future now position location tractions. Your cerebral cortex line, placebo line and rotation, position location, all levels, sets position location of Spinnaker line interference, position of travel communication line and rotations into your position location of pyramids and set position of travel lines and film project location line centers of future adaptation line calculation setting, L direct location. Done by equation. Okay, now keep that in the signal. Come in this position of travel. Dimension line, center location, high center interference, and position track communications. Open up the signature strings. Location, high position of gold. Gold line signatures of eyes and line rotations. Done by equation. Boom. All right, set position. Travels out, signifies high calculation, high line and position levels, cerebral cortex position travel. Change the gold lines, back in black line and rotations, and 1 signal, high position of all settings. Equal line connection, high center. Triangulation line, set high position location, high center interference, and 1 atom line rotation, center position. Calculation high interference, travel position location, 2 line signatures. Arrow, line connections, X marks the spot. Calculation 1 lines of 0, 2 platforms of communication setting to 1 platform. Position on track lines. Avatar comes in, line of interference. Avatar comes in, a 3-line communication. Avatar lines, high position of travel. Verification 1, position of 2 and 3-line communications of pi and line calculations. Done by equation. All right, symmetrical line settings, meteorological line setting, line interference at position, location, and computer interference. Tracks correlates setting traction. Position locations, a level setting. Line calculation, high positions, operation. Center line condition, high interference at 2-dimensional door line stream locations. High calculation, high interference, position location line patterns. Rotate to service location line interference. Center line rotation service correlation setting. Positions of panel communication. Film strips, line setting line high interference at 3-line rotation centers. 3 communication at grounds, 3 communication of center, 3 communication at center lines, magnetic high information line centers, 2 panel communication setting, traction. Done by equation. All right. Studying signals is all about understanding how to set position your setting. Okay. Planet surface, 2 position line centers in rotation, 1 position locations, calculations. Jupiter lines and 2 line strips. Okay. Calculate modify, line signal location, high setting. Position locations, jumps out, line center interference across location. Channels cross line streams, position locations, center line rotation, center and traction. Okay. Figure 8, boom, done. Okay. Signify calculation lines. Fibonacci line swirl, 8 signature line communications in a swirl line communication setting and direct signal of panel communication. Megapass. All right. Unification of 1. All right, so we have center communication lines of Jupiter, communication line interference and Pluto, line interference location Neptune, 3 set line correlation setting direct signal location. All right. Panel communication line directions, point system, 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 point system. Okay. Platitude line interference, XT1000 line set locations, scans position travels. 1 position to mark, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 line connections. Drop line positions of pi. There it is, done. Center communication lines of 24, 24 lines of power, and 24 lines of signature, and 24 lines of atmosphere line calculation, sending 24 line interference of 7 bodies of water. Track to its correlated setting traction, done. Multiple levels, line rotation surface. Track to its communication line setting is redirecting panels communication to a system. 1 signature line stream. Direct line calculation setting to a seed-pod line stream location has set lines of 2 patterns and high interference of track communications. Direct communication line centers low frequency patterns. Sets position of track to communications. Center line interference and set location high interference and high track location setting to your atom line rotation. Whoa! Look at that. Powerful stuff. All right, so we got the high lines, we got high gliders and line rotation position of center. Direct position of patterns. Travel communications, right? Set locations. Here comes the sun, here comes the moon. Set position of track to its communication, right? Directing position of the panels. Now the platform line sets lines of communication, changes all directing high center position travel calculations. 3 lines and high lines of 4 communications of patterns. Okay, done by equation. Okay, keep that in statement because we're going to come to modifications back in this equation. All right. All right, so really understand how to go line calculation setting at track lines. We opened up the Earth line 1, Earth line 2, and Earth line rotation and position locations all setting and position of Asgard and line communication of set rotation, Space Academy. Boom, done. Okay, so that's going to travel out. Say goodbye, but it's still there. Center line communication, center open line rotations, magnetic 1 change. Direct communication of panel lines and triangulation reset programs. Calculation high interference and high calculation system. Console communications into high center. Closest calculation line center and interference. Travel calculation center in position of 2, in position 1, and 1 position line condition of 0. 0 track locations high center interference, but the position of pi, indirect signal location your settings into 1300 channels of operation. Indirect locations of pi represent time sequence. Calculation all of the spherical sphere and spectral communication setting direction. Okay, now to send the platitude line rotations, platitude line centers of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 line channels. Oh, down by equation. Metric communication travels out in 3 signature stream locations, directions. Center position location of center lines, magnetic high wave formation line stream. Asgard comes in, line calculation setting, balance position of travel lines into its application. Down by equation. Ooh, ah. Pyramid, line calculates the setting and position of track lines, spectral communications, center line operation. Power connectors, high sending and recharge position of track lines into ASCII communication. Okay, done by equation. All right, so we have the panels and film projectation line interference of 24 signification of streams. Now the Argon line setting is set position of travel communication. Okay, done by equation. Waiting on signal because we got a set position of traction. Now, in the high calculation line interference, we set the flywheels. Flywheel communication of 1, position of 2, and position of 3 locations. All right. Signature line communication of 8, position location of 8, and position location of 8 line conditions. Right? You're getting intelligence. Ooh, it's coming in. Set a position line calculation lines. And the 2x 3000 lines and 3 signature line communication lines that are in high interference of triangulation reset position programs. Position location line setting. Now, calculation Jupiter has to come in and line calculation setting and position of 2 waving line rotation centers. In track location setting, the surface and edge locations lines that figure line rotations. Triangulation high interference crosses line conditions of 1 line signature. Pattern communications opens all signals, opens all signals, opens all signals, and opens all signal locations. Setting traction. Position location of 4 lines of dimensional lines, cerebral cortex lines, placebo cortex lines through location attached. Done. 2 line signatures, 2 pattern correlation setting in plateau. All lines, rotation, surface, and triangulation reposition programs. Spectrum City. It's all set up. Boom, done. Spectrum City. And it's all done. All right. That's going to travel out. Now, get into modification is really understand how to set position attractions. So we got 1 line signature lines, alpha lines, and high calculations of theta, beta, and omega. Signature line interference, 1 ground line rotations, routers and routers. Okay, monotone. Monotone line center line interference, location of beta, beta line calculation, setting 3 line signatures, hub location box, box position triangulation, triangulation line, Fibonacci line swirl. Direct communication programs. Direct position of panels, signify, 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 gamify. Done by equation. So signifies lines of high calculations at gamma sigma, position of track lines and 1 signature lines that puts position of track lines in center line communications in all levels of operation. Done by equation. Operation line set locations come down to seat pod line position of traction. Sets line calculation high interference of scanning. Scan position location of 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line, 5 line, 6 line, 7 line, and 8 position of traction. Pyramid. Boom. Done. All right. Now, that's going to travel out. How are we doing through equation? I know, it's a lot going on. People are like, whoa, this is intense. Drink your waters. I know, it's amazing. Putting this all back together, guys, in all sequence of communication settings, redirecting your panels, understand how to use it through all traction. Okay, so I'm just going to go through solar text line setting. There's a lot of people coming in the equation. All right, Heather communication lines, a high interference, Trinity communication, a captain loads, a gypsy location of Johnny business location line settings, high interference location travels, position all walls, Hendall communication interference, line calculation, high position location setting, and track through its communication system, all level, high calculation of cloud lines, change position all levels, high interference, high position location all levels, line communication, high position to abstraction, all level communication setting. All right, so I'm just going through communication interference. Wow, you guys are going through a lot now. Yeah, it's amazing how we're changing all communications back where they are. Line rotation to its location, its computer operation, certification of system, position of traction. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Chris, are you getting modification lines and cycles? I feel like I need to breathe, walking away from, yeah, that's totally fine. You get used to location settings, right? Your avatar is just to understand the abilities and what it can do through line calculation setting to also grow its consciousness. Triangulus line interference, high position location, high center interference, high position location on 1 line, position location of 0 line, and center line communication setting, position location of center. Location high and low rotation, center line rotations, position location all levels, interior atom communication setting of traction. Now that puts position location 2 lines, center line communications out of the equation location. Okay? Now, in that direct lines comes in 1 line. Spherical sphere in 2 line, 3 line, and center line rotation surface and triangulation reset position programs. Okay. Walking signals and graph line streams. Okay. Location grid. Okay. And center position location line centers of bridges in 3 signature string locations. Okay. Now, modification lines of plateau, center line rotations, and position locations, center position operation. Now, the operation line center kits high calculation high center, puts high calculation setting in your 24 signature patterns in 24 million line cycles and sets of travel. Okay? Done with question. Looks like a bell. Waiting signal. Ding, ding, ding. All right, so that's done through equation. All right, putting these back in measure, one signature in line string. As you got the alpha line tone, you got the delta position location at theta settings. Okay, setting track location at delta, alpha line tones, and position of theta communication. Right, wave and center line communication line centers are wall connectors of 3-line rotation, tracked as correlations, direct lines of the sun, and line rotations waiting on signal position of patterns. Communication lines of center, operation line center location of system, and travel. Travel communications back in its equation, back in the center line communication of center. Okay, boom. Center locations of 1 lines and 3 lines and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 line communications. Right? Setting lines of new line, new surface, new grounds, new operation line position to its calculation. Done my equation. All right. That centers out. All right. Setting these position line connection high interference is 2 brackets in line calculations of 1, signature lines of 1, and position of 2. Now 3 in calculation line interference and calculations of 4. 4 lines channels equals lines of 3, calculation of 7. Okay. 7 roots in line calculation setting, right, to a graph line stream. Position locations all lulls, yin and yang. Boom, done. Center position, center position. Ooh-ah. All right, so center line calculation setting in 1 line, 2 line, and 3 line waves and line rotation into a cubical string location of setting the direction. Platitudes lines of box line rotations, travel communication lines of 3 signature pattern line rotation. Communication lines of box line center line interference, box line interference, data string location of setting. Done by equation. Connect high center position of 3 lines, direct cases of 1, 1 equals lines of pi, pi positions travel lines. Vortex calculation of flux, flux lines of point system location of 2 travel lines of 3 line indication of high position. Done by equation. All right, taking these out of the equation is really understand how to put everything back in vision, right? How you really line set location. So we got Fibonacci line stare, calculation set location, all right? Set a position to the opposite line, and set position travel. Okay, mechanism line to position of 2 atoms. Center correlation center, track locations, right? Line position, okay? Center line communication of 1 in position of 2 in position of 3 line communications, okay? Set line connection to the high center, direct signal location of all lulls, 1, 2, and 3 lines of wave, position of tractors communication lines, a high center interference, and track correlation setting into the particle stream location of set location. Okay, boom, done. It's all done. So we got the bridge line centers, travel correlation setting, direct system. Travel correlation setting, direct system. Okay, see how it's set up through the line centers of tunnel position location of 1, tunnel position locations of 2, and tunnel locations of 3, line rotation and set position of operation. Mega pass, it's all done, right? So mechanism lines of 1 equals lines of 24. Mechanism lines of 24 equal lines of 0, 1. Mechanism on line coefficient of 24 lines of 3 lines, the location of 0, 0, 1. Now the track location setting puts those locations into 0, 0, 0, 0, 4 line signification of 0, 0, 0. 4 lines and 3 lines calculation setting, digital code line interference, and graphication of stream. Done. All right, so that's it. Done through equation. It's all done. Bridges are set up. Platitude line centers, a high crowd line rotations, travel line center on the interference of 3 line rotation surface. Triangulation reset position of programs. Correlation high interference into position location of travel settings and all set location. Okay. So it's about we're really understanding how to really calculate and modify all line position location of 1, in position of 2, in position location of 3, and set location. How it lines its signals, line position location of travel line center, high position location of its operation. How you get it in position of your platforms, calculation high interference and travel communications at 3 line calculation magnetic highway, indirect signal in line position location of center operation. Okay, boom. How's everybody feeling so far? It's like, whoa, what's going on here? Right? Know exactly how to put everything back together, right? Yeah, see, that's it. Film strips, high calculations, all levels, the astral projections, it's all coming in more clarity and line setting. So all line communications. So pass is deleted in all set location. It's all done. You're in the future of now calculation settings in 1, 2, and 3. Now, the position of the pattern splits position of traffic calculations. Inner line calculations of 1 is a platitude of visual location at 24. Now, that's one signature lines of negative or positive. Once they get in visual location, positive or negative line interference, they teleport location of 2. 2 lines of wave line interference, that's 2, 2, 2 line interference, a 2, 2, 2 line position location track lines of space and time. Puts position location teleportation line interference location of 3. 3 lines of calculation line interference. 3 positive line rotations. 1 line indicator line interference of space, position location of time. Center communication lines of 4, lines of 3, 3 line position of travel, position location setting. 3, 3, 3 line position location of all levels, heart, mind, lines, connection of soul, redirection of panels, communication operation service. Done by equation. That's it. So it's incredible what we just finished doing, guys. It's amazing what we just finished doing to all set location. Look at that travel line connection interference. Boom. Look at how powerful that is. Look at the intelligent location. It's all set up. It's all set up now. Okay? Exactly what you just went through, right? Taking the past streams of roots is redirecting panels. Now, each earth line has a conscious stream. Keeping line settings of the subtronic line stream interference of the super of its consciousness puts the above location system. Once you come into the subtronic line settings, you reach higher levels of conscious location of streamlines. Directing lines of 3 roots sets position location to its open panels. That puts position location to its high calculation streamlines. Low lines of vibration frequencies, mediation line interference, high frequency positions, and extreme extremities line calculation stream locations into your set location of 3 line settings. Okay, platitude line interference into 24 lines, 24 cycles, and 24 division location of sectors, vectors, and quads. It is all set up for vision through your portals of a 144 Stargate location of heaven. Now, in that position location, come into formation line setting. Okay, you think, oh my gosh, there's more. But it's amazing how it comes in provision. Okay. Okay, so in that position line directions, everything's in chronological order. Now we get 3 lines of sectors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Platitudes, box line, rotation center, position operations, argon location setting 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1 location. So that's position location of 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, box location. Inside the position track lines. Box comes up here. Box lines of triangulation, high calculation Fibonacci, 3 lines of whirls. Calculation of percentage line calculation setting, direct system. Coming in 0 lines of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Foundation graph lines. Setting graph line interference into 13 graph location streams. Set locations back into 0, back into 1, position 2 and 3, connection line 4, and position line set interference into all calculation line interference of wave line center line interference and position location of wave line center location, all future adaptation interference, past line gone through equation line interference, center position location, future adaptation line and position of travels into energetic graph line screen, position of travel, position locations, and 24 line signatures, 24 powers, and 24 line atmosphere line position location of metabolic line and rotation position of travel communication line centers, back in center communication line interference into argon location setting, and with the location high interference, of travel communication line position location, and all of the future adaptive high rotation positions of the future locations of the now. Done by equation. That's it. We're done. Yeah. All argon line setting is all communication, future of the now. We recentered all lines of communications. Key provisions. All right. All through graph line calculation algorithm. Okay. Ooh. That's it. We're good. All right. See you in 5.